Hello, VIP Kid teachers and GoGo Kid teachers. Teacher Teresa here. Today I want to talk a little bit about what to do in student no-shows, because I'm seeing a lot of teachers commenting that they are concerned that if they're sitting in a no-show that they might get charged with a teacher cancellation or a teacher no-show unfairly that was incorrectly marked that way when it was supposed to be a student no-show. Now, a lot of teachers do take screenshots of themselves when they enter into the classroom. I personally didn't want to waste my time saving all of these images that are just going to take up random access memory on my computer and are just a lot of digital clutter that I don't need. So what I do is as soon as that clock hits 000, I come on screen and I say, the teacher is present, the student is late. The teacher is covering the camera and waiting for the student. And then I put a little piece of tape over my camera, and that piece of tape is just regular yellow masking tape. And the reason I chose the yellow tape is because the light shines through and you can still see the color over the camera so that you can tell that the camera is on. So therefore, obviously, I am still in the classroom. And then I also type in the chat box, waiting for student, and the time that the class started. Class started at blah, 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 Beijing time, teacher waiting for student, student late. And then I just wait. And at the 25-minute mark, if the student if sometime in between the student has arrived, I just remove that note and we just go. If the student has not arrived, at 25 minutes, I take that piece of tape off and I simply say, the teacher has waited 25 minutes for the student and the student did not arrive. This is a student no-show. And I type student no-show in the chat box as well. And then I hit finish class and I mark it. I type in that little comments box, I type student no-show. And then I submit that and I end class and I don't do any feedback. I notice some teachers are worried that if they don't do feedback that you're not going to get paid, but that's not true. You do not have to do feedback for a student no-show. There is no student you assessed, therefore you cannot leave feedback for someone you didn't see. So that is what I do. And I hope that helps somebody, because it's certainly not something you need to be worrying about or stressing about, that you're going to end up with unfair marks against your record for actually having been in class. And I also noticed that the other day another teacher said that she had a case where the student couldn't see her, and on her side of the screen it said no student in the classroom, or no one is here, or whatever it says in that little message box. And she had to hit refresh, and eventually, because the message popped up across her screen that the student couldn't see her, so she did know the student was there. And I had never experienced this before, but then yesterday it happened to me too. So I think it's sort of a new error that's occurring. But what I did in that case was I typed into the chat box, teacher refreshing, and I also hit that contact fireman button, hit can't see student. And before I could even come back to the classroom, before the slides even reloaded after the refresh, the fireman typed, we are dealing with the student's IT issue. Please wait. So then I just covered my camera again and continued to wait. And after about 6 minutes, that class was canceled. So I didn't even sit there the full 25 for that class. The fireman let me know that, it wasn't fixable. Whatever the issue was on the student side, and they couldn't do anything about it. So remember also that the firemen and the AI are watching, they know what's going on, so you don't have to worry as much as you might think you have to. Don't get all stressed out. And if you don't want to save 10 million screenshots, you certainly don't have to. In 2 years, I have never had an issue where they said I was not in class, because the playback can clearly show that I was in class, because I came onto that screen and made interface with that camera and said, yeah, here I am. So that's what I suggest. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.